Donald Trump spent his entire campaign lying about his record, lying about Kamala Harris, but telling one big lie, the biggest of them all, and that was about his agenda. An agenda he spent the entire campaign running away from, denying his connection to, lying about the whole time, saying he knew nothing about Project 2025. And those lies sounded something like this.
She talks about Project 2025 all the time. I have nothing to do with it. I've said it every way possible. I even said to a very good lawyer, am I allowed to sue them for continuously? We put it in writing. We said to, and the lawyer said, well, sir, you're running a campaign. You got a lot of liars in campaigns. You probably can't.
That was Trump's go-to line. He knew nothing about it. He wasn't connected to it. He was going to sue anyone who said he was. But we know the truth. We tried to warn people about Project 2025, an agenda so unpopular, so disastrous, that even those who voted for Donald Trump disagreed with it. And that's why Donald Trump had to run away. But he doesn't have to run away anymore. He's making clear what we've known the whole time, that this is his agenda. It was written by members of his former administration, and it will be carried out by the craziest cultists in his new administration. And that's exactly what he took to Truth Social, saying, really getting caught in his own lie and doing it brazenly at this point because he doesn't even care, in this Truth Social post right here. Trump wrote on Truth Social, I am pleased to announce that the former ICE director and stalwart on border control, Tom Homan, will be joining the Trump administration in charge of our nation's borders. The borders are, including but not limited to, the southern border, the northern border, all maritime and aviation security. I've known Tom for a long time, and there is no one better at policing and controlling our borders. Likewise, Tom Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. Congratulations to Tom. I have no doubt he will do a fantastic job, and long-awaited for job. Donald Trump has now made the man who wrote the immigration policy in Project 2025, an immigration policy he said he knew nothing about, a Project 2025 plan he denied any connection to, yeah, that person is now in charge of Donald Trump's mass deportation plan that we warned people about that they didn't want to listen to or believe. That is in his administration now. This is what we knew to be true. This is what we were so scared of, and now it is happening. And if you're not worried yet, and you should be, listen to Tom Homan talk about how he will execute on Donald Trump's plans.
I've seen some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way. They're going to make it hard for us. Well, a suggestion: if you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way, but we're going to do it. So if we can't get assistance from New York City, and we may have to double the number of agents we send to New York City, because we're going to do the job. We're going to do the job without you or with you. But it's much easier to arrest a bad guy. Like I just said, we're concentrating on public safety threats of human and national security threats. Right. It's much easier to arrest a bad guy in the jail. Give us access to Rikers Island that we've been kicked out of. Let us get the bad guy in the jail. It's safer for the alien. It's safer for the officer. It's safer for the community. But if you're going to release these bad guys, out in the community, then we're going to have to go find them, which puts the officer at risk, puts the community at risk, and and bottom line is, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals.
Defying Democratic governors, Democratic mayors, doing whatever they can to infiltrate cities and attack and deport immigrants, legal or illegal, it seems like at this point. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. That's what Tom Homan will do. That's a part of their plan. Their plan of family separation, their plan of a immoral attack on those legal residents as well of our country. Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, here legally. Does Donald Trump care? No. He promised he wanted them deported. And that's what Tom Homan's going to want to do. And without any care or consideration, because that is the Trump administration policy. Just take a look at Tom Homan being questioned about family separation by Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez right here.
Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy?
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo?
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation?
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
This will be the man in charge of immigration under the Trump administration. Once again, an author of Project 2025, something Donald Trump said he had nothing to do with, he knew nothing about. It was always a lie. We knew it was a lie. The members of Donald Trump's former administration who were still his cultists, who wrote this plan, are now being welcomed in with open arms. It is exactly what we expected. It is exactly what we warned people about. And it is sad that they didn't listen. But it's not just Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda that's being honored and who is being selected for his administration. We have another scary element of how that selection process is going. And it involves Elon Musk and some CNN reporting right here.
Mar-a-Lago has basically been brimming for the last 2 days, I'm told, with two kinds of people. Those angling for a job and those who are trying to influence Trump into hiring their picks. But one person has loomed over all of that. His name is Elon Musk. Multiple sources tell me tonight that Musk has been seen at Mar-a-Lago nearly every single day since Donald Trump won, dining with him on the patio at times. Today, they were seen on the golf course together. Musk has been in the room when world leaders have called Trump. And tonight we've learned he's also weighing in on staffing decisions, making clear his preference for certain roles even. Publicly tonight, Elon Musk is backing Florida Senator Rick Scott as the next leader of the Republican conference to replace Mitch McConnell. While Musk himself is still not expected to take any kind of formal position inside Trump's administration, given how complicated it would be with his companies, what's becoming clearer tonight is that he doesn't really need to, with one source telling me Elon Musk is having just as much influence from the outside.
If the execution of Project 2025 in the scariest order possible was not enough for us to realize that we were always correct in warning people about what a Trump administration would look like, then Shadow President Elon Musk should put it over the edge. Elon handpicking people to best serve his interest for his giant corporations and, of course, his rich friends, and all the attacks that he wants to make on our institutions, Social Security, Medicare. Elon's plan to slash the government budget for the people most vulnerable and who need it to survive. So he can get what? A big tax cut. Days after Donald Trump's election, we saw the wealth of the 10 richest men in America grow by $60 billion. Now, that wealth doesn't just come out of nowhere. It comes out of our pockets. That's what the Trump administration is going to be. A big movement of wealth from working people, as we have seen since Reagan, to the top 1%, the 0.1%, and the top 10 richest men in America. That's what Elon Musk wants. That's what Donald Trump wants. But of course, it's not just about serving their rich friends. They also want to go after the people who they don't like. Immigrants, legal or illegal in this country. And another one of Donald Trump's appointees, Stephen Miller, the Deputy Chief of Staff Policy, is doing exactly that. And Tara Setmeyer of CNN had a perfect reaction to this dangerous individual.
Tara, your reaction to Stephen Miller being tapped for this kind of a role?
Well, that's what people voted for. I suggest lots of folks who voted for Donald Trump go back and watch a lot of interviews and media appearances by Stephen Miller. And you see who he is. He's a despicable human being. that is a racist and a xenophobe, and his own family has disowned him. And this is now who has proximity to power in the White House, basically number 2 next to Susie Wiles, in the ear of the President of the United States. Well, I guess the upside is at least he won't be DHS Secretary or Attorney General. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that's because they were probably worried that he couldn't get confirmed? Is that?
Probably, yes. But, Trump, that's why Trump is asking for recess appointments, and they're trying to circumvent normal institutions and processes, because you're going to find out that a lot of these people would not be able to pass muster once they are really on public display. I've often said that I do not think that not the MAGAs, they know what they got. But a lot of people who felt that, well, it was the economy, or it won't be so bad, or, they are not fully aware of what they have done and the people they have ushered in. You didn't just vote for Donald Trump. You voted for the people like Stephen Miller, the people who gave those speeches during the fascist rally there you had in Madison Square Garden. They voted for that too. So we're about to see what these people are going to bring onto the American people and our government. And God help us.
Such a spot-on response. Now, I know this is not happy news. I know it's going to be a lot of this type of reaction from me going forward in the following weeks as we talk about the appointments to the Trump administration. Now, I want to talk about the resources that we have to oppose these people, to push back. And as soon as we hear more from the Democratic elected officials in Congress across the country who are doing things to resist the Trump administration, and I haven't seen enough of that. I'd like to see more from our Democratic officials. I will be every single day bringing us different ways that we can push back against these people. But right now, we just kind of have to face the reality of this is what's happening. We have to call it out, and we have to talk about how dangerous these people are. We have to put as much pressure as we can with our voices and talk about this dangerous agenda, because it's all we can do right now. If we aren't engaged, then we aren't warning people. We aren't educating people. And that's what I'm going to make sure I'm doing every single day on the show. It may be difficult at times, but I'm going to do my best. And I appreciate you being here with me. And if you want to support the work we're doing, you can always leave a like on this video. You can hit that subscribe button and join this channel. And until next time, I'll see you soon.